I would like to welcome everybody here. This is such a great day. I hope everything will work fine for you. It is really honor to have everybody from you here, driving long distances for something which we found, or which we all found, exceptional instrument. And I hope that you will learn something which will be useful to you. We will learn something from you, of course. And when you will be leaving, you will be the 12 apostles, which will be carrying out the Fujara message, that it is not an instrument just for musical effects, but it is a melodic instrument on which melodies should be played. Basically, it is, except one tone, it's actually a chromatic instrument. When you have a G Fujara, except the C sharp, which is one note you cannot play, you can play every other note in the scale, which is amazing. At least on the ones which Dusan made. So let's the fun begin. I hope everybody will have a good time, and we start with making Fujara. Začneme videovou Fujaru? Nebo na přeci zahrajeme?
Budeme si, najskôr si zahráme, môžeme povedať niečo zhruba o tej histórii.
Okay. So we'll play a little.
Detva nacional folk festival.
Central Slovakia, there's a folk festival. It's been since 19. For the year it started, 1956. It's one of the biggest folk festivals in Slovakia. It's in central Slovakia, in a village called Detva. The Fujara is makers of Fujara. That's around where they have come from.
Takže znielka toho festivalu.
Yes, it's the largest festival. There's two other festivals in Slovakia, Východná and Detva, the two festivals. Dance groups and singers from all over the world come and participate at that festival, and it's right around this time of year between July 5th between June and July.
Hovorím im o tom, že je to zvučka dedianského festivalu, typické, ale je to so symfonickým orchestrom, takže musíme si vystačiť.
Ještě jsem se chtěl připojit jak?
Môžeme to urobiť, no?
Anebo dejme to. Jsme hrali na ty Fujary.
I will be making a DVD of the whole event eventually, so you will be able to get a hold of one of those if you're interested.
Okay.
Or between the two of us, somebody will get something good.
Work toward getting this relaxed and getting home. one, once you've got the note, it's going to want to stay in that register. So if you stop and start again with a higher ta, okay, without playing. Just a second. Just like ta, ta. It's that initial ta that determines what note you're going to get. And then once you're there,
basically it is the same principle as Fujara. It has the same overtones, and only thing it doesn't have any holes. This is like something which I asked Dusan to make for me one hole. It's like overtone flute with one hole, which is
Oh, so you can plug it and unplug
no,
it.
okay, I can unplug it, and for this piece which we were playing, I don't need that hole because this is like traditional stuff. But for some other stuff, this gives me 2 extra tones. Sometimes
okay.
this is exactly what you need, you know.
Ah, I see.
So ovce nisko, jačme nisko, uwiązala žena muža na remenisko. Uwiązala žena muža na remenisko. Okay, right, this is just, we can do one more, just, Dečko jsem hodil. Dečko.
To je Dčko, ano. Dobre.
Oblačkom vyskakova, 4 grojce, rúfam znova, dajte mi to, čakajte vážne. Ja vám dám 4 grojce, dajte mi to, čakajte vážne. A ja vám dám 4 grojce.
Aj Dečko.
wind doesn't like Fujara. Fujara doesn't like wind. You know, they don't get along. Sorry, I didn't play for that one for a while.
Keď som mal G-čkovú, tak by som
this is
neladení.
but I could get shot. You can read about it on the pages on the internet, but we can at least say a couple words. You know how it started for people who don't know. It started from the 3-hole small flute, like in Middle Ages, which was about that big only. And they usually play it with one hand. They play the melodies, and they use drum for the other hand. And during wars, some soldiers brought it to Slovakia, and in Slovakia must have been some. Well, they left one of those little flutes with those 3 holes there, and there's a fertile land at the place where I left the 3-hole flute, and it started to grow, and it was growing and getting larger and larger. It was maybe on steroids or something, and when it got to a certain point, they make it larger and larger, and finally were not able to reach the holes. Right? You could still play it from here, but you would need a second person to play the holes. So with the Slovak ingenuity, they said, well, if I cannot blow here, I need to blow as low as I can to reach the holes. So they created another tube, which is just carrying the air to the top of Fujara and entering here. So this is basically the whole thing. And those Fujaras were not so big as they are today. You know, they used to make them smaller, maybe C or B or A. You know. So now it's like the G size is like pretty common now. Even F Fujaras exist, even you know, lower than that. And what gives Fujara the special tone is the same principle as koncovka. Is the ratio between the length and bow, which is for flutes. For example, I will give you a scale. For like American Indian flutes, this ratio is around 10, which makes big hole, short flute. This gives you very strong basic octave, but you have maybe a couple tones extra, and that's it. You cannot play anything else. Then you get regular flutes, which you can buy in stores. They have a ratio about 25, 21, 25, something like that. You have 2 octaves, and you have some overtones, but you don't have the deep tones are not that strong already, and you don't have the top. So yeah, it's always compromise. And then you have koncovka and Fujara, which have the ratio is about 65, which is very long and very narrow. So basic octave, you cannot even play the basic tone. It's so low that you cannot even play that. You can play it. You can barely hear it. It's like, you know, this is the deepest tone. And then, so you practically start with the next octave. But what you get in as a reward, you have very rich overtones in the overtone scale. So that's what you know. You know, Fujara uses this part of, you know, every flute takes advantage of like different spectrum. So yeah, Fujara is using the top spectrum. All Fujara in part a little bit to you know, gypsies, because they developed the special drill with which you can you know, drill wood, the large enough diameter.
Yeah.
And
Special pit.
yeah, special pit, because first overtone flutes in northern Slovakia were done, different way. They just used piece of wood and he had a knife and he split that wood exactly in half. He was like making sort of like dancing around it because he had to move left and right so it would not split like this. It would split straight, and then they would remove the soft center, put it back together, and use several yards of willow tree bark, just wrap it around when it was wet, and then when it dried, you just push those two halves together.
Squeezed it together, yeah.
Squeeze it together perfectly, because it was just so that's how they used to do the first overtone flute. But in the southern Slovakia, all of those are drilled. Even the overtone flutes are drilled. But for this size, they needed to have like bigger diameter.
Yeah.
So it was
Long
depending.
drill, no? This is
Yeah.
pretty long.
Yeah. Well, you have the drill. He will show you the drills. It's like the drill on like one piece of
Rod.
a rod, and you just drill, then remove, go back and drill a little bit, and then
It's almost like an auger.
It is an auger.
Yeah.
see you go like this, And if you don't like somebody, you can do that too.
So how flexible is it? Because most of these Fujara,
It's not flexible.
I mean, these things are so bent all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah. Well, you do the first drilling when it's still raw. Like in the winter, you cut it, and while it's still raw, you drill. You will make it straight as possible. Tie it with chains to something so it will like straighten up
Pull straight.
as much as possible.
Yeah, I saw that on their website. They strap it down to a straight board and
Yeah.
straighten the
And then you drill it, just the core, and then they use bigger drill. And the bigger drill just follows the small drill, the hole which is already there. And then you let it dry, and after it dries, it shrinks again a little bit. So you re-drill it with the same size, one more time, and that's it. Then you work from outside and everything.
Which woods do you use?
Elder wood.
Elderberry.
Yeah, right. Elder, but they use all kinds of woods. Sometimes other hardwoods, and the harder the wood it is, the harder it is to make it.
Takže vďaka cigánskému nebožiecu vlastne mohla vzniknúť fujara. Teraz mi z toho vychádza, že vďaka cigánom máme slovenskú fujaru.
Right. Yeah, he said like it's so funny that, like thanks to gypsies we have a Slovak fujara. I never thought about it this way.
Ešte môžeš povedať to, že napríklad môj starý otec mi spomínal, že na Očovskom Saláši, keď hrali na fujari večer po tme, takže asi 5 kilometrová vzdialenosť v tom takom vetríku, bolo ten zvuk fujary počuť. A že môj otec raz za čas tiež hrával večer na balkóne, preto aby počuli ľudia v tej noci tú fujaru.
Yeah. He's saying that like it's well known that the sound was being carried like on the evenings, like a 5 kilometers, which is about 3.5 miles, and his father used to play in the evening on the balcony of his house, so like other people could like enjoy it. He was playing for himself, but I was hoping somebody else could hear it far away and like it's calm. It is. The fujara has really calming effect. Unless your wife terribly hates the sound, then it would not make her calm.
Question. On some of the websites, I've seen that is used for healing.
Right.
Is it used like with doctors for healing?
Yeah,
or
it is already starting in Slovakia for people who have like even mental problems and stuff like that. It is starting to be used.
I qualify there.
His family, it has many generations already. This tradition is going on, and he remembers when he was a small child. They were sitting around the table, and either 6-hole flute or fujara, it was like going around the table, and people were playing, and everybody played something, and he wished at the time, wow, if I could just sit there with them and play something too. But actually they didn't say like, play something. They used to say something. like they let the flute speak, you know, not play.
You ask your flute, what do you have to say?
Because you know, they need to say something which is like interesting that they use that word, because it is not used normally for you know, like a musical instrument. They use this kind of word.
A že u fujary nebola krásna technika, proste rýchlosť, ale ten tón a to podanie pomalé. Proste čas plynie pomalšie z fujary.
Right, yeah. It's like the old masters. They were playing a little bit different fujara. They were using long tones, and really they were not in a hurry. They are all under pressure and going to work, and like time is flowing much faster these days. And when they were maybe even, you know, performing on stage, like you know Fujara was there with them, and they were playing, and he was thinking, well, you know, they will end it now, or it's already over, and they just continue and more and more and more, you know. It's like for them, like have it like 2 minutes and that's it. You know, no, they just used to play very long time.
Ja teraz zahrám takú ukážku, jednu takú piesem, tu idem, lebo musím.
Right, I'll show. For example, this fujara has completely different tone. It is really like a really set sounding instrument. This is not typical. This one is quite heavy. It's really it's from hardwood, and it is a, you know, thick wall. So I was like getting
Different wood?
hard, heavy. Yeah. So like, if I have this, I can just, you know, hang it just like this. But you can see the difference between this fujara and this one. it was like a really sad tone, right? And so, yeah, it depends how many. It's probably. I cannot explain why some tones of somewhere have like different tone. I think that most of it is being the window or labium, how call it. That probably creates the sound, and I don't know. The wood should not have any influence. We are like having a lot of discussion on the Czech-Slovak side. About if the material have any influence, and I always say no influence, and I even tell them, if you make it from plastic, it will be the same. But I'm not sure. If it would be absolutely same and have the same surface inside, I guess that would be the same. But I don't know. The wood has if you maybe using a microscope and look on surface of this wood and on surface that wood and on plastic, there would be differences, and maybe those little differences make.
I don't know. I think
it could add something to it.
I think even some of the age and the moisture, in the air, because I've noticed, like I said, the one I brought back from 1977 and the one I have from 1970 or 72, it's a different tone. And I mean, it's just, I pick them, it's, and I think it has to have something to do with the wood and the cut, because it over the course of the years, this one has changed tones, not dramatically, but it has changed.
How's this? Yeah, this one's okay. It's much weird on that one I played. The pressure difference between registers is much higher than this one. This one is very, very subtle. Somehow, I wonder if it's the attempt at the well-tempered tuning that makes it. It's all flue. So the miracle of the flue.
Yeah, go ahead. Only born there. Then I lived for 10 years. And then my other 10 years.
Like this. This is typical Slovak concept. This one, he just made that one here. So it's not finished, but it plays well.
Radio. He got me that one. I had difficulty finding it in on the airplane.
Is that Fred?
No, najlepšie by to bolo na sústru vytočiť, len teraz nemáme podmienky na to. To by bolo presne. Ja keď to utkám, tak z toho urobím koncov. Len je to dieravé.
It's a nice one. Try to get him to speak.
How do you do it? I'll talk later. I don't know. It's improved, but
So what have you been doing? Lifting one side of the roof?
trying to lift this side and leave that shut.
Here's a couple of things. One is you can lay this in. Totally trust it. And it'll tap on the flue.
Oh, really?
Since I didn't, on the lip, I haven't sharpened this yet, so you might hurt it.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the dangers is that you hit and open up, come out of the hole like that,
Yeah.
and you round the front end up,
Yeah.
and it makes it very unstable.
Oh, so you still have a step to sharpen?
This run, this sharp cut,
Yeah.
here, that has to stay flat. So you ought to leave that thing, you can bend it a little, but you want to leave as much of that blade in that spot as possible. don't accidentally widen the mouth at the top. There's two ways of fixing that if you do. One is to cut the mouth up higher. The other is to just do this. You slant this up a little bit.
Ja viem, ja ti to hovorím len rýchlo.
That's the same, making it
Problém, som ti
deeper.
išla do tej kuchyne, ale to si
The lip in.
len pýtam, že kedy to tých skupiny samých chlapov. Môžeš mi to nejako...
Yeah, now it looks like
Takže vďaka cigánskému nebožiecu vznikla fujara.
Maybe you just have to use a really narrow one.
has to do with the following bit.
Dina, you said something about Ciganske.
Musíme opraviť.
Bishan just said that there are several ways how to decorate fujara. Originally fujaras were not decorated at all, but later they wanted, because they loved them, like when you love a woman, you dress her nicely. You love fujara, you dress her up, right? You give her nice clothing, you know, fashion. They use motifs from Slovak life. For example, this guy uses sheep, but most of the time they use flowers, different flowers. Usually every maker has his own style. Some of them would be carved, just carved, and then dipped, smoked and dipped in some kind of liquid which would make the carved part dark, and the part which is not carved would be light. We are like that, but a bit upstairs maybe, or behind the door. Then there is a different method. They use kyselina dusičná, jak se to řekne?
HNO3 asi.
Yeah, HNO3. How is that in English? Who is
Nitric acid?
Acid.
Nitric acid.
Nitric acid. That's it. You're right. Okay, they use nitric acid, but they would use a piece of wood, and they would like dip it in the nitric acid, and they would put it on the wood and repeat that process. The bad part about it is that they usually breathe the vapors. It is not very healthy, you know, and they do it inside, you know, and before you have the whole instrument done, you spend some time with it. And like one more method is like deep carving, which you see the fujara which is on the clean side. When you open the Yahoo fujara, the picture is of the deep carved fujara made by Kobliček. That's his specialty, but not many people do that, you know, because and he's very good carver. He's not a very good musician. So if you want to have a nice fujara, buy from him. If you want to have fujara which plays well, you have to find somebody else. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. I've been there and I couldn't find a single instrument which I wanted to buy. Next method is you use brass, pieces of brass, and you just hammer them inside, in the fujara.
Väčšina vrta z oboch strán, rovnaký priebeh dodržuje.
Most people drill from both sides, but there are some guys who drill from top, from this side only. Yeah. And when they get very close to the end, they don't go all the way through. So it would like be a little bit tapered. But not many people do that. Most people drill from both sides.
To im môžem povedať ten rozmer, vidíš, vlastne teraz povedz
Yeah,
im, že
I was-
vypočet dierok.
I was asking him how he knows where to drill, you know. So he said he has his own way to calculate that, you know.
Kým nemám otvory, urobím, aby hrala, hej?
So first he makes, you know, we have to do window and makes the whole thing so it would really have it.
It makes a sound.
Teraz, táto vzdialenosť odtiaľto potiaľto delím 14.
Okay. From od hrany, ne, od horního?
Od horného.
Ty to děláš od hrany?
Áno, nie od hrany.
Ne od hrany.
Od tohto.
Okay. This was the big discussion. Where you should measure the length? If from the edge or from this top?
From the bottom or top of the hole.
Actually, it should be done, and I've read it in book also, because actually the whole thing is playing from the end. This is actually end of that field, because there is this plaque.
Right.
So from this end, so from the top of the window, not from the edge. So this
Niektorí
length,
merajú odtiaľto,
this is-
ale potom toto musí byť vždycky presné, vieš? Niektorí merajú od vrchu.
he's saying that some people, you know, you can measure from here, but then it would have to be this distance would have to be the same all the time. So he measures from here, then he divides this by 14.
Spomínajú stále,
14
áno, oni tí starí majstri spomínajú sedminy, čiže oni si to najskôr dali na poli a dolnú na sedminy, to je to isté. No a dve tie sedminy plus tento priemer vrtanie je prvý odtiaľ.
Right. So actually the old masters were dividing in by 7 and then by half, which is you know, by 14.
Potom ide
Takže jak mám teď?
priemer vrtania plus dve sedminy.
Okay. So then you take the bore plus 2/7 and you get the first hole.
Áno. Potom si dám ďalšiu sedminu,
Another 7.
tú strednú dierku posúvam o polovicu
Another 7.
dierky.
So you get the first hole. Then you get next 7, which will be somewhere here, and the next 7. But this hole has to be moved up. You see, it's closer to the one. Up, jako okolik to posunieš?
O polovicu otvoru, čiže tu je to asi o 3-4 mm.
Okay. For half size of the hole.
Na fujare je to
You
raz
move this
tak,
up.
raz tak väčšia vzdialenosť.
Right.
Lebo aj dierky majú okolo 12-13, takže polovicu dierky.
Posunul si to o polovicu dierky. So like one more time, so I remember. Divided by 14, then you 2/7 plus the bore gets you the center of the first hole, plus one more 7 gets you somewhere here. One more 7 gets you here. Then you move the middle hole for the
1/2 up.
1/2 up. Okay? So we have 3 holes.
Áno, často urobia chybu, že túto posunú a od nej dajú sedminu. To nie, najskôr sa musia tie
That's
rozmiestniť.
like somebody people made the mistake. They move this hole and then they measure the 7th from that one to that one. But that would be wrong. This hole would be
To bolo hodne falošné. Ďalšia štvrtá dierka je sedmina plus priemer tejto dierky. U pišťalky 6-7 mm u fujary rast.
The fourth hole is from this hole 1/7 plus the whole diameter of the hole, of this hole. So this is like about this diameter is about this much, and then the distance, and then so it's 7, 7, 7, but then you move this one half, you know, and this one whole. Okay.
No.
See this thing?
Sedmina.
And this one 1/7, 1/7.
Ak ešte neladia veľmi presne, tak túto dierku ešte zväčšujem aj do strán možno a tak.
Ale tuto posuneš od této dierky. Ta sedmina se měří od této dierky.
Áno.
Okay.
Presne vždycky od stredu.
So
Stredu
this
dierky.
7 is measured from this hole, which was already moved, right? Okay. So 7, 7.
Čiže
So
mal som tu na
these
to.
are actually all evenly spaced. This one is spacing it almost spacing out.
Mind your way.
This one is placed first.
Yeah.
Čiže stred dierky vždycky si to označí šidlom.
Okay, yeah.
Stred dierky.
He marks the center of the hole by this tool punch. Yeah.
No, ak to ešte treba doladiť, ak je to podladené všetko, hrúbka steny, ak je veľmi hrubá, tak to všetko je ešte podladené. Takže z vrchu ešte treba potom zobrať, už keď sú navrtané dierky, tak ešte z vrchu jemným hovríčkom zoberieme.
Okay. if the thickness of the wall is too big, it will be all flat. So then you you have already the holes drilled, and then you just use a sandpaper. Jako co používáš na to odstranit ten?
Block plane.
Okay. Plain. To take of this, just take off some material. So this would make, but you have to be careful not to go too much.
Na tej spodnej dierke je najhrubšia stena, preto je ona aj podladená trochu.
It says on the bottom hole, the thickness is the biggest. That's why it is undertuned.
Už z vrchu sa nemôže nič robiť, lebo by sa porušilo.
Yeah, he cannot really take off. Well, he could, but it wouldn't look the same.
Oh no, Clint doesn't care about how it looks.
Yeah, lunch is up.
He's a pure musician.
Vtedy, keď sme rozprávali o tom ladení, tak niekto spomínal didgeridoo. Ale tam tie zákonitosti
You might have to learn some alternate fingerings.
tam ten tón vzniká vibrácia. Áno, takže nedá sa porovnávať didgeridoo s fujarovou.
He's just telling that like somebody was trying to compare Fujara to didgeridoo pitch, and you cannot really compare it because this is completely different kind of instrument. This is more like like a trumpet. And then you create the tone by the vibration of your lips.
Right.
While on Fujara it's like completely different way of creating the sound, so you cannot really compare this.
Zo všetkých. Ale bude aj silnejšia. Mala by byť.
It will need a little more air, but it will play stronger. So like the sound will be stronger.
That's what I was talking about, the shin. You've got to choose that very carefully. Otherwise it'll choose you.
These plugs, have you put this in?
No, they came with it. Yeah.
Rubber plugs?
That's what they came with.
Wow. I never see it.
Možno ju ešte raz bude musieť rozobrať. Neviem, či ešte nebude musieť klátiť maličko nadvihnúť, takže provizorne to dáme dokopy, dáme si obed.
Yeah, he doesn't know, he might need to take it apart one more time, so like he's not, finally finishing. He might need to adjust this area now, I'm not sure.
No, ešte je nie celkom zaklepaný vo vnútri. Je želiesko.
Can you hear the difference?
Je lepšia. Takže, že im chcem poďakovať za dôveru. Chcem poďakovať tebe, Vilme, za to, že ste sa dali na to zorganizovať takéto krásne podujatie. A verím, že aj oni majú z toho také dobré zážitky ako ja. Že domov na Slovensku si určite prinesiem veľa fantastických zážitkov. Budem veľmi rád, keď budeme v kontakte.
I'll try to remember everything what he said. He would like to thank everybody for coming here to to really believing that you will learn something from him, to trust him, come sometimes very long distance. Yeah, he's like basically he's telling that he wasn't teaching for a long time because he started to make fujaras and instruments. So like once more he really enjoyed you as a student, and you were a fantastic student, very interested in
paying attention,
involved, you know, and he hopes that you have learned something useful, a lot of things, that it was, you know, worthwhile for you to be here.
No a na pamiatku na túto udalosť im chcem darovať píšťalku, ktorá je vlastne nový hudobný nástroj, lebo bola trojdierková handrárska z kosti, ale toto je šesťdierková, len má z opačnej strany dve dierky.
To have a nice you know, memory of this event, he created practically new musical instrument which didn't exist before, and nobody in Slovakia has it yet. Very short whistles exist, which are called handrárska pišťalka. They were made like around neck, and they were only 3 holes, and they were made from bone usually. If you have this city parička, spoveď fujary, like second from the end is played on that. And but his is full 6 hole, and you can play complete skate on it. But they would be too close together. You cannot really make them like that. So he put some of them on top and some of them on bottom.
So he has gift for each of you guys.
Hej, dobre